Hello everyone and welcome to this practice session of problems of strength of material. In this session we are going to solve an important problem of extension of bar due to self weight. Here I am showing a bar, and if I am not applying any external force, even though the bar will show extension because of its own weight. And here in this class we are going to cover four important topics. One, to how to derive this formula which is there for extension in the beam. Then we will also see that how the stress are distributed in this bar which is extending due to the self weight. Then the how the extension will change with respect to the length, what would be the extension of the tip, and if I will see the extension at the midpoint, whether we are having a linear relation or something else. In the last we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is the bar of uniform strength, and how what does this mean, the uniform strength, we will see in the last part of this session. So before I start the problem, let's revise one very important and basic concept, that if I am interested to find the change in length of this bar which is subjected by a load P, and the cross section area is as elastic constant E and length L. I know that the stress by strain is defined by the elastic constant, and stress is the force by area, and the strain is the change in length by original length. When I will put these two value in this formula, I will get that the change in length can be calculated by this formula, that is PL by AE. In this formula, this AE is also known as axial rigidity. Please remember this. This is axial rigidity. Sometimes there is a question in GATE examination for 1 mark, that what is axial rigidity. Later on in other chapters, we are also going to cover the flexural rigidity and torsional rigidity. Now the next problem is that I am having a bar which is weightless, and I am applying a load F here at the bottom of the bar. The bar is having length L, cross section area A, and elastic constant E, and I am interested to find the extension at point 3, extension at point 2, and extension at point 1. If I will see the system carefully, the point 3 is at the root, so I can say that the deformation at point 3 will be 0. If I want to find the deformation at point 1, 1 is actually representing the change in the entire length of the beam. So I can simply apply this formula here. So the change in the length of point 1, or the extension of point 1, will be F into L by cross section area and elastic constant. Now lastly, the deformation of point 2. Here we must understand that whatever deformation will be there in the section 2 3 will be represented by the extension of point 2. However, the extension of point 1 is represented is a representation of the change in the entire length of the beam. So in case of the deformation or the extension of point 2, my formula will become the load which is constant, and the length of the section 2 3, that is L by 2 in my case. It may be that I am interested to find the deformation at this point, which is at a distance L by 4 from the root. So in this case this length will become L by 4, but for point 2 it will be L by 2 divided by the cross section area and the elastic constant. This concept is important, and we are again going to use it when we will solve the problem of extension due to the self weight. So let's start our problem, that we are having a bar and we want to find the extension due to self weight. Here the density, cross section area, length and elastic constant of this bar is given, and I am interested to find the deformation of point 1 due to self weight. We must understand here that here we are not applying any external force. Instead of the external force, the bar is having extension because of its own weight. So if I will see different location in the bar, each location is going to subject different force. Previously when we were having an external force here, the load was constant throughout the beam, but here whatever force experienced by the topmost point will be different than the force experienced by the lowermost point. In addition to that, the top point is going to experience higher forces because it is going to hold the weight of the bar. But if I will take, let's take this is my point 1, this is my point 2, and this is my point 3. So point 3 is going to experience the maximum loading, and point 1 is going to experience zero loading, and in between these two my force will be vary. And if I want to find the force at any particular section, I can consider a distance x from this end, and whatever force will be experienced by this section will be the weight which is lower to this point. So what would be the weight here? Suppose the density is rho, cross section area A, the length of the lower section is x, and gravitational constant is g. So this would be my force at a distance x, and we can see here that this F is not constant, it is a function of x, means the loading is varying linearly from the tip to the end, and maximum at the root and minimum at the tip. Similarly, if I will calculate the stress, my stress in the bar is also will be similar to the loading, because the stress will be the force by cross section area. As the cross section area is constant, the nature of the stress or the nature of force will be equivalent. However, the nature of the extension of different point will be different, and how we can calculate that. So to calculate that, let's consider a small section dx at a distance x from the tip. The top portion is the fixed portion. I can visualize that the force acting on this small section del x will be because of the lower portion. So the loading at the x distance will be what? The density, cross section area x, and the gravitational constant. I know that the change in length is defined by the loading length divided by a and e. So when I will put these value in this formula, and let's say that the deformation for this length is defined by del e. So my del e will what? Del e will be the loading, that is rho a x g, the length of the section, that is del x, so it will be del x here, and the cross section area and elastic constant. This is the deformation in this small section. If I will integrate this from 0 to L, I will get the deformation or the change in entire length, and that will be what? That will be rho a g x square by 2 by a e, and this is the length 0 to L. So this formula is valid for the total deformation in the bar. I will put x as L. I will get the formula for the deformation of point 1 will be rho a g L square by 2ae. If I will cut the a, I will get a formula that will be rho g L square by 2e. We also have another formula where we incorporate the weight of the bar. If I will decide that the weight is W, and that will be what? Rho A and L. This is the volume and this is the density, and G, this will be the weight of my bar. So I can put W here and I will get a formula that will be WL by 2AE. This is more general formula generally asked in the exams, that if we want to find the deformation of the tip because of the self weight, that will be WL by 2AE. Similarly, if I am having two cases where I am having two bars, one bar is having weight W and I am not applying any external force, and I want to find the deformation of the tip. So the deformation will be what? WL by 2AE, just now we have calculated. On the other end, the second bar is a weightless bar, and I am applying a weight W which is equivalent to the weight of the bar. And what would be the deformation here? So in the case of a point load acting at the end of the bar, the deformation will be WL by AE. So if you will compare these two deformation, you can identify that the deformation due to the self weight will be half to the condition where we are applying a weight W and we are ignoring the weight of the bar. So sometime it is asked in the gate examination that find the ratio of these two deformations, so it will be defined by 2. Suppose I am interested to find the deformation of the midpoint of the bar. So this is my bar and I am interested to find the deformation of the midpoint, which is L by 2 distance from the fixed support. How I will find this deformation? So here I have to consider a superposition of two conditions. One condition is the deformation due to the self weight of this portion. And if I will consider the lower portion, I can consider that this lower portion will act as a point load to this section, which is point from the root to point 2. So the section 1, 2 is actually applying as a point load, and I know that the total weight of the bar is W, so that will be what? That will be W by 2. So in this case, the total deformation will be the superposition of these two deformations. Suppose deformation because of this is del L1 and because of this it is del L2. So the total deformation of point 2 will defined by the deformation del L1 plus del L2. And let's see how we can derive the formula. So for the case of the self weight of this half length bar, for the full length bar, I know that the deformation is defined by WL by 2AE, or I have seen the formula that deformation will be what? Rho A G x square by 2 divided by A and E. So in this case, instead of putting the value L, I can put the value L by 2, which is my case here. So I will get a formula that will be what? That will be rho A G by AE divided into L square by 8. If I will replace this with the weight W, I will get a formula that will be WL by 8AE. Similarly, in case of a tip load acting here and the length of the bar is L by 2, my total deformation will be defined by formula simple PL by AE, where loading is what? Loading is W by 2 and L is L by 2. So when I will put these values, I will get that the W by 2 into L by 2 divided by AE, that will be WL by 4AE. When I will add these two terms, I will get that the deformation of point 2 will be what? The deformation of point 2 will be WL by AE and 3 by 8. So you can directly remember this formula, or if we want to make a generalized formula, suppose I am considering a case of any position which is a distance x from the tip, and I want to write a formula for the deformation of that particular location. So the deformation of any location x, I am not deriving this formula here, but you note down this formula, which is very important, and that will be what? The W L square minus x square divided by 2A E and L. This is the most important formula of this session, because if you will remember this formula, no need to remember any other formula. Suppose you want to find the deformation of the end. In this case, my x will be 0 and here x is equal to L. So at x is equal to 0, I am actually taking the deformation of point 1. So when I will put x is equal to 0, I will get a formula WL by 2AE. If I will consider x is equal to L by 2, when I will put L by 2 here, I am actually calculating the deformation of point 2, and you can cross check, it will again come 3 by 8 WL by AE. Similarly, you can find deformation of any point. Suppose you want to find the deformation of this point, which is L by 4 distance from the root. So my x will become what? In this case, my x will become 3L by 4. So you can put this 3L by 4 in this equation and you will get the deformation of this point. And you see here that this deformation is a function of x square, not the function of x, which we have seen in the case of force there. So force is proportional to x, but my deformation is not proportional to x. Instead of that, it is proportional to L square minus x square. Therefore, the curve which will be there between the deformation and length will be a parabolic curve. However, in case of force, it will be a linear curve. After analyzing the deformation formula, let's try to make the variation of the stress and deformation with respect to the length of the bar, and that would be the last part of our session. So we know that the distribution of loading, suppose this is my bar which is fixed here, and my force is function of x, so it is proportional to x. However, my deformation is proportional to L square minus x square. And if I will calculate the stress will be defined by the force by cross section area. So stress is also a function of x. So if I will plot the stress with respect to my length x, that is x is equal to 0, so x is equal to L. So I know that the stress will be maximum at the root and the 0 at the tip. On the other hand, the deformation will be maximum here and 0 at the root. So if I will see the two variation here, I am showing that this is the variation of stress, which is a linear curve, and 0 here and maximum here. These sort of problems are really important for the GATE examination. It will hardly take 10 seconds to tick the answer and you will get absolute marks. So this is the variation of stress and this is the variation of the displacement or the extension of the bar. This would be a parabolic curve and this would be a linear curve. Based on these results, you can make a bar of uniform strength. What do you mean by bar of uniform strength? In this bar, the stress is maximum at the root and 0 at the tip. Suppose you want to make a bar which is having constant stress throughout the length, then how you can make that bar? whether the bar will be of constant cross section or the variable cross section. Obviously, wherever we are having maximum stress, if we will put the higher area there, that means the force into force by area. Why there is a maximum stress? Because force is maximum here. So if I will increase the size of the bar at this section, my stress will lower down. So based on this philosophy, if you will derive a formula, you will find this kind of a beam which we call the bar of uniform strength. This is not the beam, this is a bar of uniform strength. So earlier I was having a bar of uniform cross section, but in this bar F was maximum here and 0 here. Similarly, the stress was maximum here and stress was 0 here. But when I will derive a formula and I will consider a cross section which is varying from the root to the tip, so that I will get the constant stress, then this would be the shape of your uniform strength bar. Then this area is actually an exponential curve. I am not going to derive this formula here, but you should remember that in case of a bar of uniform strength, this ratio of this area will be exponential. The curve of this variation in the area is an exponential curve. So with this note, I am closing this session. Thank you.